Hello, everybody. Sorry about the little bit of a late start. We'll give everybody just a couple minutes and make sure that everybody's gotten logged in since we just started. Hopefully some of you that joined us last week, this is Crafty Wednesday night. I mentioned to everybody before that usually Wednesday nights I'm actually working at the library, but that's not a possibility yet. So we're here and trying to figure out what everybody's interested in. And my cup of tea is crafting. So anyway, I just wanted to welcome you if you're new. I wanted to show everybody, in case people showed up from last week, that these are the hearts that I put in the window. We did just 3D paper hearts in rainbow colors, put them on a string, and they turned into a mobile, and they're in my window. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, make sure you put that in the comment. Today we're going to make another type of heart so that it'll keep adding to the window as we go along. And I found something really interesting to make that doesn't take too long. And just like last week, I have quite a few different options so that hopefully you don't have to run out and buy a whole bunch of stuff. You can just use what you have around the house. So let's get started. We're going to make what's called a sun catcher. And it's something you can put in the window, and when the sun is out, it'll actually, you can kind of see through it. Now there's a lot of different options that people had out there, and I found ones that work for me. The first thing you can do that I had seen is just get some clear contact paper. I happen to have some. Not a lot of people might have this laying around, but I found a roll that I've had for a very long time. Some of the things that I thought of in place of using the contact paper, the nice thing about the contact paper is obviously because it's really super sticky, but you could still work with other things that aren't as sticky and just use tape or glue or a hot glue gun. Some of those ideas, I found these sheets, and the idea is to have it be see-through because that's the way we're going to catch the sun. So these are just really old photo album kind of pages, and you can see through those. Another option is I found like just a sheet of plastic paper that came off of something, and you can cut out of this. And that's just the starting point. That way, what we're going to do is we're going to take these heart frames, and we're going to turn them into a sun catcher. And step one, you just cut out a sheet of your contact paper. Oh, and the other thing you could use is wax paper. I did find that I didn't think the wax paper was quite as see-through as like the contact paper or some of these other options that I found. But you just cut the contact paper out to be just a little bit bigger than the heart. This piece is quite a bit bigger, but you could to use less, just so that you have the heart, and then you're going to trim around it. So that's what I did with this one. This is a purple one that I cut out just like this one, and I already peeled off the backing of the contact paper. And what you want to do is, since I have this plastic thing, the contact paper sits really nice on this, and you can actually lay it down and it'll stay in place instead of like sticking to your fingers. So all I did was lay the heart frame on it, and then we'll just trim around. And you will be putting a second piece of the contact paper on, so you could trim later, but I think it's easier to work with if you trim this side first, and then when we put another piece on, trim it again. It's very sticky. It's been a long time since I've used contact paper for its original purpose. How about you guys? I remember lining all my closet shelves with it and that type of thing. Cabinets. with this clear stuff, it actually comes in handy at the school library that I work at. I cover a lot of paperback books with it, and it works just as good as some of the book cover material, and it's a little less inexpensive. And again, if you use some of the other options that don't have the stickiness, you would just want to put a lot of glue in the middle there, because that's going to be the goal, so that a lot of things stick to that. So now we have a framed heart, and you can kind of see through it. And then we're just going to create something that would look nice in the window. One of the things that I happen to find is most of these, if you look it up for sun catchers, you'll see that they use tissue paper, and everybody looked like they had, a rainbow of colors of tissue paper. I didn't happen to have tissue paper. I did find some white, and you could use white and still color it in. So I had a sample of that. Use a Sharpie marker, and it'll just kind of bleed all over. And you could basically make any kind of decoration on the white tissue paper if you didn't have regular tissue paper, or colored, sorry. But when I didn't find that I didn't have much tissue paper, I try to think of, well, what else could I use that would be, the whole goal again is to kind of have it be as see-through, so the sun comes through, or it just lights up and looks pretty in the window. And I happen to think of one of the things I had in some crafty drawer is a whole bunch of very pretty paper napkins. So we're going to use some of those too, and I'll show you how to actually add to. So here's a piece of the tissue paper, and you would just, I'm going to use this sample that I have over here so that it's a yellow, and then I'm going to stick the purple color in here. So that's just one piece that we're putting inside that heart. So when I found the paper napkins, I did figure out that if I just cut these out, the really nice thing about these is some of them, when you take the 2 plies apart and then you cut out the figures, like on this one, there's birds and like a bird's nest. That's really pretty. I have ones here that have butterflies, and I'll show you. I cut out these butterflies, and when you put them on here, you could put the 2 layers down so you can see it from both sides. That way, it's not just the side that's to the window. It'll still look pretty in the room. So I just put that butterfly that was cut out of a napkin. So we're just going to keep decorating these, and then we'll put on another layer. I'm going to cut out, since those butterflies were there, I'm going to cut out a few purple butterflies. Some people might notice that I happen to like a little bit of purple. It's one of my favorite colors. I use the smaller scissors. But you could put anything in this. Just like I mentioned last week, and I have an example for it. Book pages, magazines, any kind of, if a magazine is a year old and it's something that it's just taking up space, you can upcycle it and turn it into something else. So the magazine pages and the book pages, they work really well, just like last week when I showed you how to make some of the hearts. So here's a purple butterfly. We're going to put this one on there. And then we're going to fill it in with some hearts, other paper hearts, and some glitter. And then we'll put a second layer on it. So we just added another heart. I cut out all sizes of hearts. I'm going to use some really small ones for this just to fill in the space in between the butterflies. So little hearts like this. Another one like that. Just make it a rainbow because then it'll go really well with the other kind of rainbows. And then the nice thing, because this is contact paper, glitter sticks to it really nice. There's many times that we use glitter and it doesn't end up sticking as well as it should on whatever I'm making, but shaking just a little bit of glitter, and because it's such a sticky material, it stays really nice. And if you didn't have, I happen to have these little nice shaker jars of glitter, but if you don't have actual glitter, the colored sugars would work. You may not want to use too much, but they would certainly sparkle in there. So now we're just going to cut the other side of the contact paper. I think this is the toughest part, trying to get this contact paper apart from the sheet. So when I tested out one of these sun catchers the other day, I put it up in the window, and of course it was raining. So I told a few people that I made one, but that it wasn't working because there was no sun. So, kind of funny. So now it's actually complete. Nothing's going to fall out because both sides of the contact paper are on it. And instead of, you could either put these on a string in the window, or I made a few others before today, and I put them up in the window just with a little bit of double-sided tape, and they stay really nice in the window, and they really do kind of light up the window when they get a little bit of sun or just skylight. And again, doing this class has motivated me. I've wanted to fill up my window, and that's exactly what I'm doing. As you can see there, it's got all this decoration in it, a little bit of glitter, and it's a framed heart. So then, like I said, the thing I really like about it too is that from both sides, when you're sitting in the room that you put them up, they still look nice from this side as much as they do from when you're walking by. And I'll just show you a few of the one other example. Instead of just a regular shaped heart, this one's got a little curve to it. And here's where the book pages come in again. I cut out of one book page, I cut out this heart shape, and it's got a yellow flower in it. And then I colored the other side yellow so that it would look pretty from the other side. And then I found another flower in the magazine, and I cut that one out, and it actually happens to match the heart color really well. And again, it just happened to be that on both sides of the page, it was talking about the same kind of flower, so I've got the same color on both sides. And let's go with a little bit of pink and purple, or pink and yellow. So if anybody has any questions or wants me to send any further instructions, just write that in the comments. Again, just take a step back when you look at any of the projects and try and find some household items. It's reuse, recycle, or upcycle, and you can make a whole lot of different variations on this project and the previous project. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll look for your sun catchers in the windows. You guys have a good night, and thank you for joining.